say nothing, but this biker in front of me, this dude's like a pure newbie. Like, he's got a bigger bike than I do, but that doesn't always mean you know how to ride better, in my opinion. He's riding with like every indicator that he's a new rider. Look, he's using 2 feet, waddling with 2 feet. His knees all the way out, riding with duck feet on his pegs. Oh, it's the second time I've done that. I accidentally, I'm sitting in neutral and I accidentally had my foot on the gear shifter. Kicked down without my hand on the clutch. Gosh, that wakes you up. Oh my gosh. Look at that, I caught right back up to the car. That made me not hit that green light back there. What do you know? It's amazing how traffic works. No, I do kind of glad that made me think of something. I'm glad that like people make the argument that like, you know, oh, you shouldn't speed because it really doesn't like help you out in traffic, which statistically, I'm not one to ignore the facts. Statistically, they're right. It doesn't really help you out to speed in traffic. It doesn't help you really over, you know, a gradual period of time, over a set period of time, like a month. It does not help you get to your destination any faster, okay? You're never going to be able to raise your average by speeding. That being said, as with all statistics, there are outliers, and you know that's why there's a standard deviation, there's bell curves and everything like that. That's not to say you can't get to your destination faster by speeding. In fact, it's not to say that by consistently speeding you can by consistently speeding, that means you could get to your destination faster and get above that average travel time more often. So that's why I'm not like completely against people that speed and stuff, but you know, most of the time, obviously like I do a little bit, but most of the time it's really not going to impact your overall travel time. If it's something like you're going to work or whatever, usually doesn't affect it a ton. But I will say, in like smaller towns like where I grew up, it's less so, you're less affected by like stoplights and stuff, and you know, like big intersections and everything. Those are less like I guess they don't even out as much as they do here in like a city where there's a lot of traffic and stuff, where there's a lot of actual like stoplights that you sit at for a while. It's different because in a small town you don't have those like long waits usually, and you're usually hitting a lot more green lights. And so if you do speed and get through a green light that say somebody 100 yards behind you doesn't get to, that's where you get those differences. Whereas like where you're here and you have like a succession of like 4 stoplights in a row going to one destination, it usually won't matter, because if you get stopped at one light, you're probably going to catch up to that person. Say, I'm just using a second person as reference, as if you were to be like racing to somewhere. You're usually going to catch back up to that second person within the next few lights. Anyways, if you really want to care, if you really care that much about it, look it up, and I guarantee you you'll find stuff about how speeding really doesn't affect how quickly you get to stuff over time. But like I said, there are outliers. You can get to your destination faster by speeding. That's why like people, if they're in a hurry, they speed. Because, sorry, that car stopped and caught me off guard. But because if you speed, you will more than likely, you have a better chance of getting to your destination in a quicker amount of time. So it's not to say speeding isn't effective, but it's more so, it's not really worth, it's more of an ethical debate whether it's worth speeding, because it really doesn't improve your travel time over you know, a standard period of time, or over a set period of time. Because like if you had like an emergency and like you need to, like obviously emergency vehicles speed, they speed faster, like a lot faster than like a casual speeder will, but obviously that gets you there as fast as possible, or it gives you the highest chance of getting somewhere as fast as possible. So anyways, just random thoughts, thought about speeding, talked about it a little bit. Anyways,